Alright guys, we're going to finish 8-5 and today we're going to talk about laws of cosines. If you know two side lengths and the included angle measure, or if you know all three side lengths, you cannot use the law of sines. You must use the law of cosines. Okay, so here's what the law of cosine is. If we're trying to find the measure of this segment A right here, what you do is you square that measurement, put it equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2B times C times the cosine of the angle opposite the measurement of the side you're looking for. Okay? So it sounds confusing. We're going to apply it, and hopefully we'll understand a little bit better. Okay, law of cosine, I already discussed this. You have to have side angle side or side side side. Make sure that angle is the included angle, and we've already talked about included angles this year. All right, find the measure and round lengths to the nearest tenth, angle measures to the nearest degree. Okay, so what we're trying to find here is a segment measure. This segment right here. All right, so we have side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. So we need to use the law of cosines. Okay, so you take the segment you're looking for, square it, put it equal to the other two segments. So 35 squared plus 30 squared minus 2 times the other two side measurements times the cosine of the angle opposite the measurement of the side you're looking for. So there's how you set up the law of cosine on this one. Okay, so class, what you need to do is you need to key this whole expression right here into your calculator so that we can be as precise as possible. So key in 35 squared plus 30 squared minus 2 times 35 times 30 times, hit your cosine button, 110. And you're going to get approximately now, what you want to do is you don't want to erase your answer. You want to keep it in your window, and then you're going to go ahead and take the square root of both sides. So then you get the measurement of xz, and we're going to round to the nearest tenth, so it's approximately 53.3. Now, when you round, if you're not getting 53.3, you need to see me in class tomorrow because we're doing something. You're rounding up here instead of waiting until the end to round it, okay? All right, find the measure of angle T. Angle T. Okay, so we've got three side lengths. We need to think side, 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 so we're going to use the law of cosines. Okay, so what you do is you take the segment that is opposite the angle we're looking for. So that's 7 squared equals the other two segments minus 2 times the other two segments times the cosine of angle T. Okay, so let's simplify here. You have 49 equals, what you need to do is go ahead and key in 13 squared plus 11 squared. And when you do that, you get 290. Minus, go ahead and key in 2 times 13 times 11. And you get 286. And bring down your cosine of t. All right, we're going to solve this like an equation. We're trying to isolate the cosine of t. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of this positive 290. Inverse of positive is subtraction. All right, so we're going to have a negative 241 equals, remember, this is a negative 286 times the cosine of t. Still trying to isolate the cosine of t, so now we're going to divide both sides by negative 286. All right, so the cosine of t is going to equal a negative 241 divided by a negative 286. All right, well, we're trying to find an angle measure. When you're trying to find the angle measure, you have to use the inverse. So, the measure of angle t equals the inverse of cosine. And guys, we've got two negatives, so you can go ahead and get rid of those negatives if you want. Two negatives equal a positive. So this is what you're going to key in your calculator. The inverse of cosine, in parentheses, 241 divided by 286. We are rounding to the nearest degree, so it's going to be 33 degrees. All right, looking for a side segment measurement. And we've got side included angle side. I'm going to be quiet, see if y'all can do this one on your own. Remember, you want to try and leave all that in your window. Don't delete that, and then take the square root of it. So you can be as precise as possible. You should get 6 5/10. Okay, looking for an angle measure. I'm going to be quiet. I've already given you an example on this. See if you can do it on your own. Okay. Last one here. All right, we've got a sailing club has planned a triangular race course as shown in the diagram. How long is the leg of the race along BC? Okay, so we need to find this. And we've got side angle side. So we can use the cosine, laws of cosines. How many degrees must competitors turn at point C? And then we also need to know angle measurement of angle C. Okay, so I'm going to do side angle side and go ahead and do the law of cosines to find BC. So it would be BC squared equals 3.1 squared plus 3.9 squared minus 2 times 3.1 times 3.9 times the cosine of 45 degrees. Okay? So go ahead and key all this in your calculator, and you're going to get BC squared. It's approximately and take the square root, and we are rounding to the nearest tenth, so we get 2.8. So there's our BC. All right, now we need to find this angle measure. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use law of sines, because what I can do is I can take the sine of angle A, which is 45 degrees, over the measurement opposite CB, which is 2.8, and put it equal to the sine of C over what's opposite C, 3.9. Do my cross product. So I have 2.8 times the sine of C equals 3.9 times the sine of 45 degrees. So then you're going to divide both sides by the 2.8. All right, and we're trying to find an angle measure, so let's go ahead and switch it to the inverse. So angle measure of C is going to equal the inverse of sine times 3.9 times sine 45, up over 2.8. And you should get approximately 83 degrees. All right, guys, that's it. See you tomorrow.